So we're ready to put the ESC boards back on. This isn't too bad of a job. We have this little bag of screws here, which has screws with lenses that came with the body kit. So we'll start in turn with each of these ESC boards. And I wish the camera was closer so you could see what I'm doing here, but basically the boards have, there are 4 little black studs in here. I call them stays. So you can see the 4 little stays in here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to line those up with this board here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And all the wires that are hanging around and really stiff, you have to deal with those too. So let's see how this first one goes. It's just a matter of pressing this board down, not breaking it, and getting it to sit on these little stays here. The wires are so thick that this is always a challenge. So this board is going down, not too well. Sometimes you gotta move a wire to one side of the stay. I'm moving the red wire out and around. And that's not going too well. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the board with the red wires, all the wires facing the conduit where they come in. Let's see if that works, to press this thing down. That's working, but I'm not sure how well. The trouble is these wires are all in the way. And you don't want to crush this board. You'll ruin it. Okay, this is looking positive, so this one's in. Give it a little extra push and it crunches down. It's a pretty hardy little board. So that board is now in. So now we're going to put this reflector, this lens on here with the LED, the white LED, and we're going to put 4 little screws in. And that's going to be it for that motor. And if I crash this thing again, I don't think I want to do this again, you know? I'd probably want to get a copter that doesn't break. Maybe a Phantom doesn't break as much. I don't know. I love flying this thing, but it can't take abuse. It cannot crash. This thing crashes, it breaks. And it breaks hard. Of course, this thing has fallen from 30 feet each time it's crashed with me, so it's been a long drop. Okay, let's get 4 screws out of here. There we go, 4 of them. These will fall in the rug and get lost. To put the lens in, don't have any screws in the lens at all. Just rotate the lens until it sits on here and it locks in. You'll know when it locks in because you can't turn it, okay? There, it's locked in. So now I'll put in 1 screw to the lens and use the micro Phillips screwdriver and screw it in. And that'll hold the lens down. And then you can just put the next screws in. You don't have to make this thing tight, just make it snug, because you'll break the threads and you'll ruin the airframe. So, just snug it down there. Well, the screw popped out, and it went into the motor, we did. So here's a real bad situation. The screw fell out, and it went into the motor. So this is something you don't want to do. Can I see it? Depends where it went. There it is, son of a gun. So do you see where the screw hit the magnet of the motor right there? Can I get it off? You don't want to drop screws in this thing. You just don't want to do this. Luckily there's magnets all through this thing, so I can convince this little screw to come out. And I can't get it. There, it fell on the floor, but I don't care, it's out of the motor. Okay, so let's be careful. When you don't have a proper workbench, anything can happen. Let's not do this badly. Maybe this is why it takes me 5 hours. Butterfingers, what do you think? So in it goes. Not going to go in that screw hole because there's a screw in there. Let's try the other one. Okay, that's going in well. Didn't drop it. Not too tight. Let's get the 3rd one in. Yeah, you can't preload these screws. I've tried that. I don't like putting them in from midair, but it's the only way to do it. Okay, well, people, this thing is together, this one lens is in. That's a real positive sign, right? The motor's turned and we got the lens in. Okay. Here's the other ESC board here. And following our lead of what we did before, we turned this thing until it fit. This one seems to want to be just like this, so let's see if we can wedge it in there. These I think are a perfect square, which is nice. So let's see if this will go in the way it sits. The blue wire's in the way, we're going to wedge it down and move it. There it is, there it is, there it is. Press it down hard until it snaps in there. Not too hard. Okay, this one's in good enough. I'm not going to wedge it in too hard, but it's in. So now we get the light to lock on, the lens to lock on, and hold it with our finger. Lens is on. Of course, I didn't get any more screws out ready to go for it, so it's a matter of finding out where we put the screws for it. And I can't find them. So, might be time to stop the video and look for screws. They're not around anywhere. Well, we'll stop and we'll continue. How's that?